Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Nick. We're taking a look at 5 more Savatage riffs. You've got to learn. I'm saying more because I already did one Savatage video a couple years back that was 11 Savatage riffs you got to know. So I will make sure and link you to that video. That video featured mostly the older albums. So Dungeons Are Calling, Sirens, Power of the Night, Hall of the Mountain King. On this one, I'm going to take a step forward. I'll do one track from Hall of the Mountain King, but the rest will be Gutter Ballet and the Gutter Ballet album, and also the Edge of Thorns album. We'll do a track off of that. Now on this video, we're going to have a couple tracks that are in drop D tuning. So let me give you my low D. If you don't know what drop D is, you're basically standard tuning and you take your low E string and drop it a whole step. So it sounds like D. Okay, so the first two tracks we're going to do Gutter Ballet from the Gutter Ballet album. This is when they started adding piano to a lot of their tracks, and some people didn't like it too much because it took away from their straight ahead metal vibe they had on their first few records. But I thought it was awesome and really incorporated John's piano skills, keyboard skills, and added a whole new texture to it. So love it or hate it, this song was just a killer riff right out of the box. So there's a little intro thing that we're going to do. The other track, by the way, that's in drop D is Damien off the Edge of Thorns, and we'll get to that in a sec. So let's go ahead and talk about Gutter Ballet. The piano intro, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'll show you a little bit of what's happening there, because it's interesting to see how that progresses into the guitar riff. So we start out with this little triad here. Basically going from a B flat to an F. Then it goes up to a C to G. So you get that. When it kicks in regular time, you get comes in just playing the chords. You have a B flat to an F and a C to a G. And remember, since we're in drop D, our power chords, we can play with one finger, which is awesome, but you also have to account for the note being a whole step lower. So this would be an F, this would be a G, C, G, I'm sorry, B flat, B flat F, and then C, G. Okay, so all of that, and then we get into the little melody. So we'll revisit that melody in a second. I'll show you that on the post-chorus part of the riff. So here's the main intro riff once the rhythm guitar kicks in. Okay, so we've got the low D string pounding away in between the power chords. And so we're playing D. And then D to C to D, and then there's a slightly different rhythm, so pay attention to that. And on these two, we're just playing the C and the D note. Little pinch harmonic there once in a while sounds cool. On live versions of this, I heard definitely a pinch harmonic going on sometimes there. So slow, that's then. So here we have an F up to a G. All right, hopefully that makes sense. Let me go through it one more time. Now at the end of the riff, leading into the verse, that's a G there. These strings are old, so it wants to go out of tune on me, but that's your G chord. So okay, now I'm going to keep going with this tune because I think it's cool, the little parts. So even though I said 5 riffs, you're going to get a little bit extra out of me today. Just don't tell anybody. All right, so we're going to go to the verse, and it's basically this. And all that is open A, C note on the 3rd fret, A string, into a D. Then back to your D, with a low E in there, and then we're going to do this. Where are we going? And back to the beginning. Now we're heading into the chorus. This is interesting. So as we go into the chorus, we're meeting on the B flat, and you definitely hear this A, but there's a C chord underneath it. I'm not sure if that was a layering thing they did in the studio or not, but you can definitely hear it. So you get this effect. And then we're into the chorus. Then the chorus riff is slightly different than the intro riff. So here we're going. We go all the way down to A. We have a little riff, single note riff here. So that's 7th fret D string. So it's 5-3 on the D and then 5-3 on the A. So that would be second time through. Gonna bend that up. That's 13th fret on the B string. Bend that up a whole step and then bring it back down. So this is the 3rd time through the riff in the chorus, leading to the ending. So this is see that A in the bass was basically a C chord with an A in the bass there. Now leading into the end, the break is Okay, so let me play the last part of the chorus. Up to that G. And then we get this cool single note riff that comes in. So this will be the last thing that we cover on this. It's super cool. It's a D minor scale here, and we're playing. Play it slow for you. Then repeat that. Repeat it again. Then we end with this. Okay, so let me play the whole thing super slow. Okay, the second riff we're going to take a look at is Damien from the Edge of Thorns record. I love this record. This was the first one with Zach Stevens on vocals, and again, there was, a little bit of controversy from the old school Savatage fans that John wasn't singing, and but I loved Zach's voice on this album specifically, and the title track Edge of Thorns is a great drop D tune as well. I'm not showing you that because there's not a whole lot to it really. And this, I think this riff's a little bit more interesting, but that song was awesome. The first time I heard it, it was played on the radio, and it's just so majestic. And anyway, this album's got some great stuff on it. Chris was at his peak, I think, with his guitar playing, and he was just ripping it up and coming up with great riffs. So let's check out this riff again, drop D tuning, Damien. It's the main riff. So there's not a ton to it. Rhythmically, you have to get the low D string in between the single notes. So the single notes are 3 and 2 on the D string, and then 5 on the A string on the first pass here. Then we're going to do, we're going to go to the 3rd fret. So 3rd fret D string, that's 6th fret D string, and then 5 3 5 3 on the D string. So we'll just finish it with low D string and then the C5 chord. So put all that together, you get this. Classic Chris. Okay, for our last 3 riffs, we're going to be in standard tuning. And the first riff we're going to take a look at is Ghost in the Ruins. I love this song. And all 3 of these next tunes we're going to look at have clean parts as well as the heavy riffs. So if you have a nice clean setting, make sure and dial that in. I've got my head rush pedal board, which you can kind of see here. And I'm just going to switch with my hands just because I have it up. I've been messing around with some tones with it. So I'm going to do the old hand switch here between the clean and the distortion when the distortion kicks in. But Ghost in the Ruins, we'll start out with the clean sound. And this is in the key of E minor. We're going to play this chord first. E minor, so it's 7th fret on the A, 4th fret on the D, and then the other strings are open, and we're just playing it open E, all the way to the G, then the B, G, and the B again, so you get this. We're going to take this and move it to a D chord just by lowering the pinky to the middle finger and not playing the open E string, the low E. Whoops. So you can kind of hear the pattern of the picking. And it goes between those two chords. That makes sense. It's a beautiful passage there. Okay, and then we end on a C chord. And then an A. That's when it kicks in, so. Now the main riff is going to be this. Gotta get that bend in there. So basically what this is, I'm playing on the D, I'm sorry, the E, the A, the D, and the G, and 7, 8, and 9 on those strings. Now I bar it and then take away the middle finger for the second chord. You could just do this, but it sounds really cool and full. I think this is what he's playing. You've got the low E string in there as well. And we're going to go to a G, slide it up to A, and then back to G. What this is, you're going to bend the top E string on the 15th fret, and if you can grab the 15th fret on the B string, try it just with the E string first. So you bend it up and then lower it and then rebend it. But if you can get them both, sounds like that, which is super cool. Okay, hopefully that riff makes sense, the clean part into the main riff. Enjoy that. Okay, now from the Gutter Ballet record, we'll take a look at this riff, which uses a clean sound again to start with and then kicks into the main riff. This is Hounds off the Gutter Ballet record. And this is kind of a little spooky one here. those two chords. It's a B minor-ish chord into an E minor-ish chord. It's got the G string ringing. So on the B chord, we're doing this. 2nd fret A, 4th fret D, open G. But then instead of playing the G twice, we play the G on the 5th fret. So this gives it this sound. Back to the 4th fret on the D, and then that is the 4th fret G string. You could play that B open too. So the first part is go to an E for our low note. Keep the B chord though. Now, so we go open, low E, 2nd fret A, 4th fret D, and then we're going to go to the G on the 5th fret D. Back to the 4th fret D, and then 4th fret on the G. So. You can get that open B string in there. It might be cool to let that ring sometime. Kind of like that. So it goes between those two chords. So let me just play that again slow. Kicking into the riff. F sharp, G, A, and okay, so here's the main riff to Hounds. Okay, super cool stuff. In the key of B, B power chord from D to E. Single notes, D string, 5 4 5, A string, 5 4 5. Okay. Second time. This time we're going to go 4 3 4 on the D and 5 4 5 on the A. Third time. A, E. So we change a little bit there. 5 4 5 on the D, 5 4 5 on the A, and then back to the first. 4 3 4 on the D, 5 4 5 on the A. Okay, so all that together. Then this cool tag riff to end it. So we're back to the B chord. Okay, then we're going to move to the E chord once again on the B. An E chord, E power chord. Here's the trademark Chris Oliva octave thing. This is 10th fret on the A string, 12th fret on the G, mute the D string. Move that down a half step and then all the way down to D. And back to E. So we play this. That's just a little pentatonic lick at the end. Okay, so if we play that, just that ending tag riff. Cool. Okay, so the last riff we're going to take a look at is Strange Wings. It's got a really cool, clean part in the verse, but let's start with the main riff. So D minor is our key here. We're in standard tuning. And this is super easy. D power chord, F power chord, B flat. So I'm playing this at the 5th and 7th fret on the A and D, twice D and G string at the 3rd and 5th fret, and then B flat at the 1st and 3rd fret on the A and D string. The second time we move that up from B flat to C. Super cool Chris Oliva lead over the top of that, and maybe I'll show you that sometime as well, but for now we're going to stick to the riffs. Okay, so when we come out of this, we get into the verse. If you hear this live, you hear Chris sometimes go on his lead sound. He'll just kind of accent that minor third there. So this is pretty cool though. It's you just have this rhythm with the open D string, and then you're gonna play basically the 6th fret on the B string, and you can add in the 7th fret if you want to, and just kind of dip that with your bar if you have one. If you don't, it'll still sound cool. It just won't have the same haunting quality. Then the second chord is the C. So you play 5th fret on the G, 6th fret on the B, and then the last two notes with the pinky on the 8th fret E, high E, 8th fret G. So that together is. Back to the first one. To end it. And that is 5 and 6 on the G and B. Open D. And that's open G and 1st fret on the B string, basically a C chord. Oops. Okay, so that whole thing together is. Back to the main riff. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this look at 5 more Savatage riffs you've got to know. You actually can't know enough Savatage riffs, in my opinion. I will make sure and link you to that other video with 11 more Savatage riffs, so stay tuned for that. But make sure and download your free sweep picking guide in the link below, and I will see you next time. Rock on!